This might be the worst looking dirt bike I've ever seen in my life. But it was free, which is the budget we're working with here at the Rad Factory. So let's get it into the shop, see if we can get it running, and then we'll do a complete restoration and make this thing look brand new. I can't imagine this thing starting. I have no idea how long it's been sitting outside. It could be a decade, but we gotta try it, right? You gonna fire up?
It's a Honda.
If this starts, that would be the miracle of all miracles.
I'm about to be shocked.
There's a reason why this was abandoned in a field for who knows how many years. I think we're gonna need a top end rebuild, a carb clean, and just a all around clean. Look at this crusty air filter. If you touch it, it cracks. Oh, that's bad. So maybe the thing's just not breathing. We'll rip this off and then maybe try and start it again.
Ew.
Here, I can got gloves. We could try starting fluid. It wants to live.
Let's go, Honda.
All right, let's get back to tearing it down, and this thing will start up by the end of this video, I promise. Gavin has arrived. Guess if this thing fired up or not.
It is a Honda, and for once it's not from like China and it's not Temu. Did it pull some Honda magic? Would Three-Wheeler Gap be stoked right now?
It did not pull Honda magic, no.
Oh.
No, it was not unexpected. So I did order all the parts. We have carb rebuild, top end rebuild, new exhaust, chain, all the main ingredients.
How to spend the same amount of money on a free bike as just getting a used bike.
Possibly more, to be honest.
But when you're done, you're gonna have a bunch of new parts. So you're really getting like a new bike for the cost of a used bike, theoretically.
Do they sell 250s on Temu?
If they did, we'd probably already have one.
Temu's been slacking on the 252 stroke. We got the homie Kyle here helping us with the top end rebuild. We're gonna get this thing running.
Go. Okay, it's definitely worn out. You can see the stripes in it and stuff. Running like a ball hone through it or something would be pretty handy.
How's it looking in there, dude?
These reeds have been through it. You must have sucked a rock or a bolt or wow. The rest of the motor looks pretty good considering whatever happened to that.
Would it make it not run, do you think? Or do you think we could have pulled it off?
I think that might have been enough to make it not start. It's a good thing we got parts for this, yeah. Just want to get that crosshatch pattern back in it so it'll seat those rings and it'll mate together. We don't actually want to take any material out. We just kind of want to enhance the surface.
Just trying to loosen this bolt up, don't mind me. We've bent 2 screwdrivers in half trying to undo this. And the other bolt was already broken when we started. So hopefully we can get this carb apart so we can clean it.
The fun of working on a free bike that had been abandoned for 5+ years outside.
Check out this brake line. I don't think I've ever seen a brake line that sat in the sun this long.
Oh, no way.
That was a steel braided line.
I literally think I'm gonna have to like cut the head of the screw off, pop this off, drill both screws out. Is like literally the best, most effective way to get this off.
How's she looking?
It's not going to be perfect, but I think we're getting back where it'll start and making the combustion event.
The O'Reilly's rental hone is coming through, actually. Heck yeah.
Oh, that went in really easy.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
No, don't say that.
Oh no.
I don't think this is the right size piston. Did this guy do like a overboard? Is this like a 265 or something? There is a lot of space right there. Like I should have had to compress those rings and I didn't at all. It just kind of fell in.
We do have calipers if we felt so inclined.
Yeah, we're gonna want to measure this because I don't think it's right. So that is 68 and some change, 66 and some change. That is a substantial difference. 2 millimeters is way more clearance than we need. We want more like 0.02 millimeters. So,
according to my wife, that's a sizable change.
shoot,
That feels about right.
So I had ordered the stock size piston, and clearly it's not the stock size. So order parts and come back.
YouTube, everything's easy. It must be. It's not like every project is a nightmare.
Run into this at professional shops and stuff too. Parts guys make mistakes, we make mistakes, tools fail, batteries die in your calipers. It's just life.
All right, we have the correct size piston ready to be installed. This is an 88 millimeter. The stock was an 86. There's some compression in there.
Oh, that was a solid kaboopy, yeah. Okay, cool.
She's gonna fire up today. We've also got the new reed block to replace the damaged one. Still unclear how that happened. There's something living in the pipe.
There's a black wasp nest in there. It looks pretty creepy.
Oh no. Oh wow.
That's kind of crazy.
They got blackened.
Ow! Ow! Dude, that knobby's beating me up. Ooh, sexy.
Before we can see if this thing fires up for the first time in 10 years, we gotta thank today's sponsor, Brunt Boots. Brunt sent us their Marin work boots a couple months ago, and the more I wear them, the more obsessed I become with them. These things are so comfy, it honestly blew me away. I'm used to having to wear boots for weeks and breaking them in before they're remotely wearable, and these things fit perfect on the first go. And the durability is just crazy. I've been wearing these almost every day for the past couple of months, and they look almost brand new. It's wild. I absolutely love that they're waterproof, and the barnyard resistant leather really holds up to all we can throw at it. The soles of the boots are slip resistant, which is perfect when you're working in a shop around cars and a bunch of oil all the time, and they're also heat resistant up to 572 degrees. But don't just take my word for it. They have a trial period with free shipping, so you can try them out on the job, and if you don't like them for any reason, send them back, no questions asked. And Brunt is hooking you guys up. If you want to try the most comfortable work boots you've ever worn, head on over to bruntworkwear.com/rad10 and use code RAD10 to get 10 bucks off your purchase. We still got a ton of work to do restoring this bike, but it'll all be worth it if this thing fires up right now. Still a little skeptical. That's not good. What? No way! After possibly 10 years of sitting, this thing finally fired up. This is so sick. Even Bandito's excited. Unbelievable. I definitely had some doubts, but this is gonna be so awesome. That's so amazing. I mean, we needed that win, you guys. Oh my gosh. This has been a couple months battle. I don't think I can take it for a ride yet. There's still a bunch I gotta do to even make it safe to drive down the street. I don't think I currently have brakes. We switched out the cable a while ago, but I don't think we bled it. Also might be a good idea to do a quick bolt check. That's a little loose. I should probably switch out this chain, but for the very first test ride, I think it'll be okay. I'm so excited to test ride this thing, but I'm even more excited to transform the look of it. Cracked into our new plastics kit, and this thing is gonna look so freaking cool. Look at how shiny and new it's gonna be. That's the TX Racing Restyle kit, so it's actually gonna look like a brand new 2025 CR250. It's gonna be so sick. Just noticed we're missing a subframe bolt, so that would be good to find before we go out. So I got a bolt for this subframe, but it turns out it is stripped inside there, so we're gonna go ahead and try and re-tap it. It is working, but it's not liking it. I think we're close though. I'm gonna go ahead and drain the gear oil just to be safe. Yep, that was pretty dirty. All right, we're gonna get some fresh gear oil into the transmission. Oops, it's spilling. Okay, I guess I'll have to go a little slower. There's always some dumb thing here. All right, I got most of the oil in the transmission, but you gotta pour it a lot slower than you think. So it did kind of make a mess. Alrighty, final piece of the puzzle before we can go for a test ride. Get a little brake fluid into that new brake line. 2 months after I found this thing rotting away, we get to finally take it for its first test drive. So hopefully I found all the loose bolts and it doesn't fall apart immediately. First kick, heck yeah. This thing is a ripper. It's insane. Oh, I cannot wait to get it out in the dirt. We got to make her look as good as she runs. Let's transform everything. We got new plastics, new tires. We'll polish it up and make this thing look brand new. I am pumped. I probably could have done this earlier in the process, but at least we're doing it now. We're gonna give it a good power wash. Get rid of all the oil I spilled all over it. Get rid of the sticks that have been in there for years. The tip just washed off. I guess I didn't lock it down good.
All right, take 2.
Now she's gleaming clean. We can rip off. Really, I guess there's not much else we gotta rip off. We can rip off the seat, we can rip off the rusty exhaust, and then slap on the new plastics. Even that quick little wash actually helped a lot, but what's really gonna help a lot is getting rid of this. First thing we're gonna start with is this grip. Ugh. I don't know how many of you guys have felt a rubber grip that's been sunbaked for years, but it is the absolute worst. It gets all over your hands. It's impossible to get off. It's so sticky and disgusting. This thing's coming off right now, and luckily it's pretty easy. If any of you guys need the stock size piston for a 2002 CR 250, first person to message me on Instagram, I'll send them this. It didn't work for me, but it's still perfectly good and would love to see one of you guys use it. All right, we got the ODI lock-ons going on there. That'll be infinitely better. We get to get rid of this disgusting seat because the Restyle kit that I ordered comes with all new seat cover. Why don't we go ahead and unbox that stuff? This is the TX Race Restyle kit, not sponsored, but just a cool company. So here's our front fender. We have our shrouds, rear fender, the back pieces, I don't know what they're called. The number plate is incredible. Fork guards. Quick test fit of the seat, and it is looking really good so far. So what this kit does is basically you replace your old kind of outdated 2002 plastics with brand new 2025 plastics, so it looks like a 2025 but still rides like a 2002. This kit is definitely not cheap, but this bike had absolutely no plastics on it at all when I got it, so I was going to need to buy a full kit anyway, plus the seat. So it kind of evens out. And I'd rather just have the look of the 2025 bike anyway. All right, we've gotten a little tease of that, but there's a few things we got to do before we can finish this kit. Number one, I think, is going to be this thing. Now, I probably could have just sanded and polished this one, but there is that massive dent right there, and I wanted a shiny one. So that's what I did. I already know these exhaust springs are going to try and kill me, so we're trying to be safe. Oh, got it. Out with the old. This is literally called the gnarly pipe. That's pretty rad. In case you guys are wondering, you do have to buy the springs separately, so make sure and plan ahead. This is not the right way to do this. Oh, but it actually worked really well. Sorry to Kyle for making him use the old ones. New ones are the key. That was super easy. I decided not to get a new silencer. This one is in pretty decent shape. I should have ordered some new packing for it. I'll go ahead and do that. For now, we'll just polish this one up. Silencer polished up pretty decent. The whole thing is looking epic. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pull the chain and then the wheels so we can change these tires. The chain that they sent me is somehow 2 links shorter than the existing one. So they had the axle moved all the way back, so if we move it all the way forward, there's a chance it might work. The problem is the chain bolts are kind of stripped, so we're gonna try and re-thread them. The joys of an abandoned bike. Everything is seized, everything is stripped, everything is broke. I don't know if I would recommend this, you guys. The Harbor Freight tap and die kit came through. Bolts all cleaned up and threaded in there. Hopefully now the chain will be long enough. Thanks to Kyle, we've got new tires, but our wheels are looking kind of rusty. So I'm gonna go through and wire wheel every single nipple and try and polish it up. Ended up having to add a link to the chain, so it must be some kind of weird extra gearing because I had ordered a stock length chain. Thankfully Kyle had an extra link and now we'll have the right size chain. These new parts just transform the look of the bike. Let's do the front end. This thing is gleaming. I love it. The last thing we have to do before we can finish putting the plastics on, I'm gonna try and restore some of this black plastic. We got the restore stuff. See if we can make this pop a little bit more. That does seem to look better. I don't know how much of the tank actually shows through the plastic. That's a pretty good transformation. The moment we've all been waiting for, we get to finalize the look of this thing. We're gonna throw on the plastics. It's not gonna be as easy as stock ones. That is the downside of the Restyle kit. We've got a lot of bracketry going on here that somehow needs to go on there. All right, the first red piece going on. This is such a cool color of red. It's gonna be pretty sweet. It's also like putting together a puzzle. I really don't understand instructions that good, and so it's kind of hard to figure out what I'm supposed to do here. All right, this is not the simplest kit to install, but we do have the rear fender on and it looks epic. It was a battle figuring out all these brackets and the spacers and the bolt, but it's gonna be so worth it. Look at that thing. We have another problem. The radiators were always super bent, but they still held water, so I didn't necessarily need to get new ones. But now it's posing a bit of an issue. The shrouds, of course, need to bolt to the radiator, but it's not really there. So I'm gonna have to bend it out without breaking it. I don't know how they got this wild bend to them, but it's not good. She's coming together. This thing is so good. Just gotta slap on this side panel. Very much is Legos, where everything has to clip together just right. But it is a pretty cool piece of engineering, I will say. The radiator being messed up moves the radiator shroud, which then moves this piece. So it just doesn't quite line up right. The seat is wild. It's got this like 3D printed bracket on it. I don't fully understand. The final piece of our crazy dirt bike puzzle, the front end. Front fender should be easy. Well, it should be, but it's not. There we go. There's always gotta be just one more thing. The bolt where I mount the front number plate is broken off, so I'm gonna have to get that out of there first. I was so close. We had 2 minutes left. This is the way it goes. We got the reverse threaded bit. We'll see if we can get this sucker out of there. The extractor broke in the bolt, so I don't think that's coming out. While I admit this isn't the perfect solution, the kit does come with this relocation bracket. So we're going to drill and tap a hole under it and just use the relocation bracket. This is like hardened steel in there, so there's no drilling through that. All right, this may not be the most legit way of doing this, but there's not really any reason it won't work. All right, our little bracket came in clutch for this scenario. Now we're on the final step, put the number plate on. I can't wait to get this thing out in the light where it's gleaming. It is gonna be gorgeous. 3 more bolts and we're there. After 2 months of ordering and reordering parts and screwing stuff up and bolting it together, we're on the final bolt. I don't know if it was worth it exactly, but this thing looks so cool. And that's it. We did it, guys. Let's get it into the sun. I present my brand new free abandoned 2002 CR250. I'm honestly in love with it. It looks incredible. For what it started with, such a piece of junk, until now, the transformation is next level.
It's, I didn't expect just red.
I spent 2 months on this project and, oh, it's red.
Yeah. I mean, it looks really nice and spiffy, but I thought it was going to be like more wild colors, you know? It looks much better than what it was.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. Yep, better than it was. That was a lot of money, a lot of time. I don't know if it was worth it. What do you guys think?
Does it run as good as it looks?
All right, let's find out. It started first kick yesterday, so let's see.
Nika's not going to like that.
I didn't turn on the gas, so that one doesn't count. It rides incredible, it looks incredible, it was a beautiful transformation. Thank you guys for watching, stay rad.